This episode of the Darren Harris Podcast is being brought to you by Factor Meals. Great meals, unbeatable convenience.
The Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Darren Harris, and this is the Darren Harris Podcast. How you doing, folks? A couple days before Christmas. Everybody, I'm sure, it has been stressing out, running around, trying to get last-minute gifts for everybody. I, for one, am one of those people. And this is the time of year that I go through a lot of depression. As you know, I suffer from major depressive disorder. And, you know, around the winter months, man, especially these months, I kind of have a tendency to fall into this funk. But this year has been a little bit different. You know, I've been trying to maintain, you know, I'm still feeling a little melancholy, but at the same time, I do feel, you know, something I haven't really felt in a long time in this part of the year, which is a little bit of optimism for myself, which I really haven't been feeling optimistic about a lot of things as of late because, you know, the election and all of that shit that happened, it's really kind of got me walking around here kind of pessimistic, like, you know, I don't really trust what the fuck's going to happen around here, but I'm really starting to feel, I'm feeling all right. You know, I'm feeling all right. This Christmas season, you know, I haven't really spent a lot of Christmases with my family because being in the hospitality business, you know, for so many years, I was always either working or working. So I spent this Thanksgiving with my sisters, which I have not spent a Thanksgiving with them since we were children. And it was very, very, man, I had a wonderful time with my family. And it was strange because there were a lot of family members there that I really didn't know because I spent, like I said, I spent so many years working that, you know, family members actually ended up having children that I never met. And those children actually grew up, and they grew up hearing about me and knowing about me and seeing pictures of me, but I've never seen or met some of them. So it was really good to be around not only my sisters, but some cousins, my aunt. You know, I went and saw my dad, my other siblings, some nieces and nephews that I'd never met before. Just really, really, really good time. So to everybody out there in this holiday season, if you're out there and you're feeling kind of down, man, I understand. Well, I'll tell you what, I got a large family, man, and we got nothing but love for you. DM me or whatever, man, and you know, I'll put you on the prayer list or whatever. I mean, I'm not really a big religious guy, but there's plenty of religious people in my family. I'll throw you on the prayer list, and you know, we'll pray that, you know, you find some peace, joy, and happiness this holiday season. So what am I talking about today? Today I'm talking about the holiday season and Christianity. And I ride around, I see all these lights and things in everybody's yard and, you know, nativity scenes and all of this stuff in people's yard. And I see a nativity scene, but then I see, you know, just totally bad behavior from a large swath of Americans. I mean, we talk a good ass game when it comes to speaking about morals and what's right. We talk a big game, but we full of shit, man. America is full of shit. America is way, way full of shit when it comes to that because, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I guess there's some sort of entitlement that we all feel. You know, there's some sort of privilege that we all have, not just white privilege. It's like almost like religious privilege. And we are so quick in this country to uphold Christianity and downplay other religions, like those religions are not valid. Like there can only be one religion. And that religion actually happens to be flawed. And it's really, really hard to get on board. Like I said, with a lot of what's going on, I watch these festivities and everybody's these Christmas parades, but then they're turning around saying deport all the Mexicans and all of this other stuff. In the name of Jesus, Jesus would never vote for a Democrat. What? It's ridiculous. It gets ridiculous. The things that humanity has placed on the shoulders of Christianity. All of the concessions that we have written into this religion for ourselves and for our convenience. And it has happened and has been happening for hundreds of years. And we sit up and we preach from the high heavens how righteous and upstanding that we are and how moral that our society is. And that's just a bunch of bullshit, because we got fucking drug addicts in one corner. We got racists in another. And it's just we got elitists over here. Pedophilia. School shootings. Just had another one a couple of days ago. But we love to stand up and say we are the best society, and your society should model itself after our society. And I know a lot of people are like, no, man, fuck that. You got to be fucking kidding me. Model our society after the United States, or just the states, as I like to call it, because as I continue to say, we are anything but united. It's so funny, man. I'm just flabbergasted by the hypocrisy that is America and American society and American citizenship. A lot of us here, we think because we're in America that everybody needs to respect the fact that we are from America, and they need to care about that. It's much like myself when I'm in other parts of the country saying I'm from New York. A lot of people don't give a fuck where I'm from. Most people, in fact, don't really care where the fuck I'm from. The only people that care where I'm from is me. Moi. Okay? That's it, really. Nobody really cares, and it took me a long time to realize that. And it's the same thing with Christianity. People don't care. You know what I'm saying? They're starting to be that people don't really care about it because it's not that religion that it is claimed to be, that it claims to be. And the reason why is because of today's society and the people who have control of it. People need to have control of religion. People are dying to have control of religion so that they can have control over people. Religion influences so many more people than anything else. I mean, money influences motherfuckers, but religion, phew, I mean, holy shit. Hey, what's good, everybody? Darren Harris here for Factor Foods. All right, now, we're in the holiday home stretch. You got a little bit more time. The clock is running out. There's plenty of people out there still getting their last-minute holiday shopping done. I'm one of them. The lines are long. Traffic is everywhere. And I swear to Kris Kringle, I'll tell you what, the last thing I want to do when I come home after a long day of fighting other holiday shoppers is cook something or clean something. It's so cool, man, because I come home, I grab one of Factor's fresh, never frozen, chef-prepared meals, 2 minutes in the microwave, and I'm eating. And there's no prep, so there's no mess. Also, Factor meals are dietitian approved, so if you're trying to meet some sort of health and wellness goal like I am, Factor has you more than covered. With 6 menu preferences, 35 different meals, and over 60 add-ons, you can create a diet plan that is vibrant and full of life for any lifestyle. They do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They do pressed juices and smoothies. They have keto cookies and more. And it really is easy on the pockets. So this year, give yourself the gift of Factor Foods. You deserve it, and your health is well worth it. Religion is one hell of a motivating factor for people. I know people who have quit jobs. I had an argument with my mother not too long ago about where Christianity came from and how did we get it as Black Americans, as Black people. How did we get Christianity? How did it come to us? And how was it taught to us? And I said to her, I said, you need to question her religion. And she yelled it to Ty, I will not. And I'm like, wow. We have been so conditioned against speaking out or asking questions or being inquisitive about our religion that we don't even explore the possibility that this could have been given to us maliciously in order to control us or keep us subjugated. She didn't want to entertain it. She didn't even want to talk about it. She didn't even want to say, well, why do you feel that way? And my mom's a pastor. You know what I mean? My mother is a pastor. And to me, if you're a pastor and you are comfortable about, your faith and your commitment to the faith, and you are knowledgeable, then there should be nothing about the faith that you wouldn't want to discuss with somebody who had legitimate questions. But continuously, I feel and I find that a lot of pastors don't have the capacity to talk to people that have sometimes absolute and legitimate questions behind, what's going on here in society, or, the creation of life, et cetera, et cetera. These things sometimes, throw these people for a loop. Some of these pastors, it's the devil's work. You're talking about the devil. No. I just got a question. And because I have a question, it's got to be the devil's work? I mean, for real. I mean, absolutely. It's especially the older generation. The older generation, man, if you question anything they say about religion, anything, it doesn't matter. If you question anything, that's it. You're a sinner and you're going to hell, straight to hell. Straight to hell. You better repent because you questioned God. No, I just questioned who gave me the information. That's what I'm saying. I don't doubt that there is a higher power than us, because I don't believe that my consciousness or the rest of everybody else's consciousness is random. I don't believe that at all, not even a little bit. I don't believe that. But I don't know if I believe in the religion that they are indoctrinating our society with. And now that Donald Trump and this is just horrible to say. This is hilarious. The Christian that he is, actually the Christian that he claims to be, he's not a Christian, by the way, y'all. He really isn't. This country now, we are now finding ourselves, about to embark upon a countrywide Christian nation, Christian nationalism. And if you ask me, Christian nationalism is what has killed Christianity. Christian nationalism has killed Christianity. I mean, it was dead already before, but it's really doing a number on it now. And the reason why is because these people do anything but practice the teachings of Jesus. They do everything else except practice the teachings of Jesus. And Jesus loved all people, all men, everyone. These people, these Christian nationalists, are as racist as it gets. It's just they're separatists. They think that them being white and holy, or quote unquote holy, entitles them to this top spot next to on Jesus's arm. That's what they believe. We are aligned with what is right, and they worship. The funny shit is their depiction of Jesus, right? We all see what their depiction of white Jesus is. Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia was the guy. I think it was with Michelangelo, one of these famous artists. It was his gay lover. So, as much rhetoric as they spread around talking about, they're just not. They're not down with the LGBTQ community. They're actually the depiction of the person that they're worshiping was a gay man. Caesar Borgia was a gay man. That's the depiction of Jesus that is hung up in everybody's house from sea to shining sea around this motherfucker. The picture of white Jesus is a gay man. That's how hypocritical this Christian religion has become. This Christian national religion has become. It's not, it really has made me. But you know what though? I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the Christian nationalist movement though, and I'll tell you why I'm thankful to this movement right after this break. I'm Darren Harris. I'll be right back. This episode of the Darren Harris Podcast is being brought to you by Factor Meals. Great meals, unbeatable convenience. Hey, y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Before I went to break, I was talking about Christianity and Christian nationalism and why I'm thankful for the Christian nationalist movement. And that sounds kind of funny, but let me explain to you why I feel this way. Now, the reason just shorten to the point, the reason I feel this way is because Christian nationalism got me to question the Christian religion and where I got it from, where it came from, where my people actually got it from. I mean, my mother's a pastor. My grandfather on my father's side built the first black church not the first black church, one of the first black churches in Mount Dora, Florida. My grandfather built that church with his bare hands. So I come from a long line of religious, devout Christian folk, God-fearing Christian folk. I come from a long line of that, but and up until recently, I was as such. I was the same. I was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. But the more I sat back and the more I started watching this movement, this Christian nationalist movement, the more I realized that they're making it up. Simple as that. Somebody's making it up, man. Somebody's making it up. Somebody is making it up. Somebody's making things up to fit what they want to happen, to fit their narrative, to fit the things that they want to control. People are making it up. Like I said, I kept this Christian nationalist movement over this past couple of years up until the election. I saw a lot of things on social media, a lot of things in the news, a lot of things firsthand, about a lot of these religious. Wow. We got some it's apparently some burglary outside, but apparently it's stopped. But we have a lot of these religious Christian nationalist pastors, talking about things like politics and how they rebuke people who don't vote in a particular way, who don't vote a particular way, and how they condemn people, how they've, instead of, my mother, one time she had said something about a neighbor next door. Oh, we gonna pray for the Lord to get them out. Well, why are we gonna do that? Why can't we pray for them to join our flock? But that is exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's these people, they pray to a God to uphold a standard that benefits them, to align them in their minds with what is right, what is just and morally right. And that's why they feel it necessary to control people's sexual habits or behavior or reproductive rights. Or that's why Christian nationalists, who are overwhelmingly Republican, they want to control your body because they feel that God would definitely not approve of what's going on. God wouldn't approve of that. God wouldn't stand for it. You know that's what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. You know that's what happened to the Sodomites. And because of that, they feel it necessary to enforce what the Bible has said that you do. But it's been proven the Bible is extremely contradictory. I mean, it really is extremely contradictory of itself. And I just cannot get behind it. There are some good parables. There's some good advice. There's some great stories, but I'm going to tell you straight like this. I can't see that as the word of God. And the reason why is because it was written like so many years after Christ died. Some of the books weren't written by the people that the books are named by. I can't get on board with it. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that it is the word of a divine God. I think it is a collection of life experiences that have been chronicled. But I also think that it was a work that was put into place to manipulate people and also to control them. That's what it is. And in that, I mean, I'm not going to let the Bible govern how I live my life. I can't. I cannot let a book, who we don't know who the authors were, govern my life. Now, there's some good stuff. There are some things that I will incorporate into my life, most definitely. But as far as I'm going to live this way and no matter what because of this and this person's I'm going to need some more. I'm going to need some more talking. I'm going to need some more evidence. I'm going to need somebody to come visit me in my sleep. Now, people say they had dreams of the Lord and the Lord came to me in a dream and he said it to me. Well, yeah, of course, because if it's on your subconscious, you're probably going to dream about it. Simple as that. Everybody's looking at this picture of the Lord. When you saw the Lord, Mother, what did he look like? Did he look like that man that's on the picture in the living room? Did he look like that? Because that's Caesar Borgia. And if that's who you saw in your dream, then the Lord is not talking to you. Your subconscious is making it up. And that goes for everybody. The Lord didn't come to you in a dream. A lot of things are coincidental. A lot of things are coincidental. It's just the way the world works. Deron, do you believe prayer works? Phew. I don't know. I don't fucking know. One thing I do know is it can't hurt. Okay? It can't hurt. If you want to pray and that makes you feel good to pray, then by all means you pray. If that's what you want to do, you pray by all means. But I don't feel like I have to pray, or it's one of those things where it's, hey, if I don't pray, then the whole world is going to collapse and fall down. Because there's been plenty of times that I've prayed and the whole world has still collapsed and fell down. Just like the people over there in Fort Myers, when that hurricane came over there and wiped everybody out, there were so many people over there that were like, oh, I'm sure there was plenty of devout Christians, lifelong Christians who prayed and still got hammered. So it's very hard to believe a lot of these things. You know what I'm saying? So now here we are at Christmas. It's the celebration of Christ. And I'm for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for Christmas. I'm not really, a Scrooge or anything like that. I've always worked for Christmas, but I'm here for Christmas. I'm here to hang out. I'm here for the festivities. Especially now that, I'm able to spend time with my family for the holidays. I'm here for it. But I'm not going to get up and go to church and be on some 'tis the season, and that's not going to be me. It's just not going to be me. It's just not. I mean, there are so many other origin stories with the same origin story as Jesus Christ. There just is. There just is. I didn't do that. I didn't make it up. I mean, I didn't. It's just civilization made it up as it progressed. Simple as that. I mean, I believe that because there's been proof of it. There's plenty of proof of it. So in that, I do respect people's religious beliefs. I most definitely respect Muslims. I respect Buddhists. I respect, Jews. I respect Christians. I respect atheists. I respect anybody's religious belief. I respect that because nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about at the end of the day. Not a single soul living right now knows what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? It's all a bunch of men. It has always been a bunch of men passing along hearsay. Simple as that. I forgot what that effect is called, or that effect is called. If you whisper in somebody's ear, and then you tell them to pass it on. By the time you get down to 20 people, what was said has completely changed. Well, what the fuck do you think happened with religion? This shit has been, it's thousands of years old. And things have been warped and morphed and changed. But we still sit up here and believe that there's been, nothing. No advancement, no anything. This is what it is from these biblical times. There's been no more technology. There's been no more, no more movement forward on the needle of humanity. Nothing. Of course there has. But we're still living by this book that was written a couple thousand years ago. We're still living, by what's these principles in the book. Well, there's other principles now. And I've said this once before. Buddhists have some different beliefs. They really do have some different beliefs. Their beliefs, they don't kill bugs. They don't kill anything living. They don't kill any living thing. Buddhists are one with the universe. They love all people and animals. But they got to go to hell because they don't believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah? But why? Because I'll tell you what, Buddhists seem like they're more aligned with Christianity than the fucking Christians today. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. Because the Christians today, these motherfuckers, well, let me not speak for all Christians all over the world. The motherfuckers here, though, in the United States, these motherfuckers, the Christians here are hypocrites. If I were to come down from space and for real, and just have to witness some religions and shit, man, the last religion I'd want to fucking be a part of is American Christian nationalism. It's horrible. And it's horrible for society. It just is. It promotes what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say elitism. It promotes privilege. Privilege, I guess. Privilege it promotes. Entitlement. It promotes entitlement. I guess that's another word that would, that would embody that. I mean, I think people are just entitled these days when it comes to this religion. And if you are not, in this country, if you are not Christian, these people literally go out of their way to make you feel like you are the worst part of society just for not being Christian, just for not being a Christian. There's Christians who won't befriend Muslims because they've been told and indoctrinated that Muslims are bad. I don't think I've really met any Muslims I know a lot of Muslims. I've never met any Muslims that wanted to do me any harm, wanted to do America any harm. Never, not at all. But Christian nationalism has you believing that Muslims are bad. They just do. Never mind the fact that the majority of Muslims are brown people. But they got you thinking that Muslims are bad people, and that's wrong. They're bad, and the Muslims are bad, and us, the white Christian nationalists, are good. Christianity's dumb. At least it is here in this country. It's dumb. And I'm going to take another break. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you why Christianity is dumb in America. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the show. Before I left for break, I was going to tell you why Christianity in America is dumb. And this right here is why Christianity in America is just the dumbest shit in the world to me, man. Me and my wife was sitting down having lunch, and I noticed that there was a church across the street. There was a Church of God, okay? Remember that. There was a Church of God across the street. Well, about a block and a half away, there was a Church of God in Christ down the way. And I was like, that's stupid. Now, let me tell you why that's stupid. Notoriously, the Church of God is a white Christian church. The Church of God in Christ is a black Christian church. And the reason it's stupid is because if we're all Christians, then why do we have to have a white Christian congregation and a black Christian congregation? And while we're at it, some of these iglesias down the street also with the Hispanic Christian congregation. Why? Why do we have that? Why is that a thing? Because if we're Christians, right? But see, that's what I'm talking about. There is a difference. There is a difference. And the reason why there's a difference is because some Christians believe that they are better than other Christians. See? That's why Christianity in America is stupid. And I will never believe what I'm taught by these people who teach it. And I'm sorry for the people who do. And these people they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose. It's practiced, it's rehearsed, and it's done maliciously. And they brainwash you. They brainwash you up, man. They do a good job of just brainwashing you up, man. The Lord is going to bless you. The Lord is going to bless you. I've heard that so many times and watched people's entire lives fall apart. And then they have to pull out the story of Job. Well, Jesus shit on Job. I mean, God shit on Job a long time. Yeah. To test Job. Well, but why? But why is that? But why do I have to be tested? You follow me? And why does Job have to be tested and nobody else? It's ridiculous, y'all. It's ridiculous. Stop falling for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Stop falling for the bullshit. Now, do I believe there was a Jesus? Now, that's a different story. I do believe that there was a Jesus. I believe I believe that he was an incredible man. And I do believe he was the Son of God, but I also believe that I am the Son of God, and so is my wife. She's a daughter of God. I believe that Jesus was incredibly influential. I believe that. And I believe that the people who constructed the Bible knew that. And they used that as a way to control people. They used Jesus' influence over people to control people. That's just my opinion. That's not any kind of historical fact or any kind of bullshit like that. That's just what I think about it. Because that's just, to me, that's the shit that makes the most sense given the shit we got going around here today. Because I'll tell you what, if Jesus was around today, he would be like, I didn't say none of this shit. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we got Christmas coming up here in a couple of days, and that's supposed to be the celebration of Jesus' birthday, which we have bastardized and butchered. And now Jesus shares the day with a fat white guy in a red suit giving gifts. That's really what Christmas is about, folks. If you haven't noticed, that's really what Christmas is about. Is getting shit, buying shit, and getting shit, and giving shit, of course. But that's what it is. It's marketing to go out and get you to spend money. It's exactly what it is, to get you to go out and spend your money so that these people can post good quarterly numbers. All for good cheer. It's good cheer. We're going to give, which, I don't have a problem with it. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? But stop making it about the Lord, man, because we done forgot the Lord a long time ago, and I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove this to you. If Christmas is about the Lord, don't give nobody no gifts and see how the fuck you end up, and how fucked up they start looking at you because you didn't bring no gifts, so you didn't leave them. You didn't get me nothing for Christmas. Oh, well, it's not about, it's about the Lord, right? It ain't about the Lord. It's about whether or not you got me some shit. That's what it's about. That is what it's about. That is what we have turned it into. That's what we've, and that's unfortunate for Jesus. It's unfortunate for Christ that we have a commercialized holiday that is based in religion, but finished in capitalism. Anyway, I got some gifts I got to go wrap, folks. We got 4 kids, and we haven't finished Christmas shopping for them yet, so they might be some of these kids going, "You didn't get us shit?" No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna try it. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna do the best we can to make sure our kids have Christmas gifts to celebrate Jesus' birthday. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm here for it. So listen, folks, on some real shit, man, I don't want to knock nobody's religion, man. If you're Christian, like I said, I grew up as a Christian. I don't want to knock your religion, but you got to determine what religion am I following? Am I following Christianity or am I following Christian nationalism? Because there is a distinct difference. And I'm sorry to say, if you are a Christian nationalist, then there is no earthly way that you could be an actual Christian. And I'm just saying that. So, hey folks, I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank my parents for understanding how I feel, because both my parents are religious and come from, largely religious families. But me being able to sit here and articulate to my family how I feel about my religious upbringing, especially with my father, because I can have a conversation with my dad and be taken seriously. My mother, not so much. My mother is, I love her to death, but my mother is Miss Sun, Moon, and Stars. Flower child till she dies. But my dad's very analytical and will absolutely hear any intelligent argument about most things. My father's very intelligent, so I want to thank them for the balance that I get between the two. I want to thank my wife for being a good person to bounce a lot of these things. My wife is she's Latin. She grew up Catholic, so we sit and we conversate a lot about Catholicism and the differences and why they worship saints and things of that nature. And we sit and we have pretty detailed conversations. One day I'll get her on the show. We'll talk about it. But I want to thank her for, and this is the reason I did this podcast today, because we were talking about it, today. And I was like, man, it's, this season is just, people are out on the roads just cussing each other out and running all over each other. And these are fucking Christians. These people got Jesus fish in the back windows, Jesus is my co-pilot, all this shit, screaming, fuck you, out of the fucking window. Cutting people off in traffic. It's fucking hilarious. So, I want to thank my producer, Jesse Yandel, because, we talk about this stuff a lot also. We definitely talk about this. This is a huge topic of debate. We don't really debate because a lot of things we do agree on as far as this is concerned, but we both do a lot of research when it comes to, religion and religious. He went to a Christian school, a Christian high school, and does have some great insight when it comes to doing podcasts, of a religious nature. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform to talk about this. I do appreciate it, G. Absolutely. And last but not least, folks, I want to thank all of you out there who listen to my podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it. And listen, if you're a Christian, man, like I said, I'm not here to knock you. All right? I'm not trying to knock you. If you are a Christian, okay? Not a Christian nationalist, because there is a difference. But if you're a Christian who loves all people, I'm and like I said, I want to be Team Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But I need solid evidence. I need more than just, a history of white slave owners giving my people Christianity to indoctrinate them and to keep control of them. I need something deeper than that. I need something a hell of a lot deeper than that. So, until next week, folks, I do appreciate it. And check it out, man. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And I think I'm going to come back next with the year in review show next week, I think, because we got New Year's coming right up, like screaming up on us here in a couple of days right after Christmas. I think it's like 5 or so days. And we got, drinking until we can't stand up. And then back on the fucking bandwagon, trying to jump back on our, our diets, et cetera, et cetera. So I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And, if you go to church, man. If you go to Mass, go to Christmas Mass. And you worship. But ask yourself this question. Am I being taught this by people who have my best interest? Am I being taught this, from people who have a good heart, or am I being indoctrinated into a religion that discriminates, that hates, that puts labels on people? Are you being indoctrinated into that religion? Because if you are, then you may need to reconsider the people you're hanging around with. All right? Merry Christmas, folks. See you next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.